All right, you guys, it's 2023, and we're going to be doing an updated video on how to get crystal clear, pristine audio when you are moto vlogging. This will be the best, the most comprehensive, the most easiest to understand. I am going to reveal the trade secrets, and I'm going to prove it to you in later videos when I'm doing moto vlogging myself. So, what are you going to need? Well, you're obviously going to need a GoPro. Here, let me go ahead and get that out really quick. You're going to need a GoPro. We're going to go ahead and turn it off. We don't need it on just yet. But I'm going to be doing or utilizing the GoPro 10. I'm going to be using the Tascam DR-40X audio recorder. This thing is going to work with the GoPro. These are going to be connected, so you're not going to have to like open up, you know, Adobe Premiere or Camtasia or DaVinci and, you know, align the audio in post and none of that. It's all going to work together. It's going to be really easy, but you can record audio independently from the GoPro if you so choose to. Completely up to you. Not necessary. Let me show you how this is going to work. So first off, let's set this up. Because we got a lot of cables here. We got a lot going on. So we're going to need a ground loop isolator. Okay. This is going to remove that noise, that hissing noise, noise. I apologize. I'm not going to do that again ever. So that's what the ground loop isolator does. It removes that annoying hissing voice. If you use a mixer, like I use the Yamaha MG12XU, that produced a little bit of hissing noise, and it was really, really annoying because of the audio source that I utilize. I mean, it doesn't have the best shielding, you know, there's all these other problems, but you can get rid of it with this. This is used in vehicles a lot. Older vehicles where the electronics just aren't that great. So we're going to remove that. We're going to attach it to the line out. Line out means audio going out. So we're going to get a standard 3.5 aux cable. So we got a TRS to TRS right here. This is what's acceptable for the GoPro. We're going to plug it into the ground loop isolator, and we're going to plug it into the GoPro, right? The media mod, right there in the bottom. I would recommend getting a right angle 3.5 TRS cable, 3.5 aux, just because depending on how your setup is, you know, the helmet, this might be too close to the helmet, and you don't want this interfering and, you know, being at a downward angle and damaging your cable. So get a right angle one. I'm just using this for demonstration purposes only. Okay. And we have the Rode VXLR Pro. So this is an XLR male end right here. And then we got a 3.5 female end right here. And we're going to just plug it in. It doesn't matter if you use left or right because we're going to be recording this in mono. I'll get into that in a second. And then over here, we will be attaching the Rode lavalier microphone. This is a TRS 3.5 connection. But this should be compatible with the SmartLav Pro. Don't quote me on it, guys. I'm just spitballing here. And yeah, check this out. Now, for your lavalier, me personally, I recommend getting a dead cat attachment on here. So this is the Rode XLR, or I apologize, the Rode lavalier microphone 2. And it usually comes with this little windscreen. So this is appropriate for like a YouTube studio, a podcasting studio, maybe like an office, you know, maybe like a game room or something, or maybe you're outdoors doing a video and there's no wind or a lot of exterior noise and nonsense going on. So this is perfectly acceptable. But this did come with a dead cat, its very own dead cat. This is specific to this specific product, so we're going to go ahead and attach it and just leave it here. Now, the initial problem with lavalier microphones is that they are designed to be worn on a subject, on a person, on the breast line or at the sternum, or perhaps at a collar right by the neck. And, you know, this isn't really close to the mouth. It's not meant to be close to the mouth. But when you're wearing this in a helmet, you're in an enclosed space. And that's why you get a lot of the distortion, because people are even talking at a room level and you're just like, you know, all cracking and whatnot. And not only that, these are, specifically this lavalier, it is so hot, which is not a bad thing, but this is very, very hot. This is much hotter than the SmartLav microphone, the Rode SmartLav Plus. Very, very hot. significantly hotter, noticeably hotter, and that is a problem. So it is not just picking up your voice much louder than the other microphones usually would. It's also picking up the sounds of the engine, the sounds of the machine, the motorcycle that you're riding, and all the little moving parts. It picks all that up. It picks up all the honking and all the noises in the city, etc., etc., etc. So it's not ideal. So that's why no one can really do audio well. A lot of people just do not know how to do it. But me being an audio professional, I'm going to show you the trade secret. This is the setup, guys. So this is obviously going to go right into the microphone, or right into your motorcycle helmet. And I'll demonstrate that later. And then, of course, the line out on this recorder here is going to go straight to the GoPro. Now, I would recommend having the GoPro off when you're connecting it and setting it up. So once you got everything set up, then you can go ahead and turn on your GoPro and then, hit the record button. But there's one thing that we have to do before we start recording. But first off, let's go ahead and turn on this recorder, the Tascam DR-40X. So the XLR, the VXLR Pro, the Rode one, we're going to want phantom power. So do you want that? Enter yes. All right. Okay, so you don't see anything happening, don't worry. So first off, let's go ahead and do recording settings. So I have this at, here, let me make sure that you guys can see that. We got format wave, 24-bit, sample, 96K. We want that low cut on, 120 hertz low cut frequency, perfect. And then level, I have negative 48 dB. Generally, that would be way too quiet. Way too quiet for the majority of microphones. However, this is a lavalier mic not being used the way that it was intended to. It's right next to your mouth, literally. And it's being used outdoor on a vehicle, going at very high speeds. So if you get wind or, craziness, crazy noise, crazy loud noises ending up in your helmet, the lavalier is going to pick it up. So that's why you want the decibels as low, not as low as possible. Negative 48 dB is acceptable, but I've done it to 24 dB. That's pretty good too. It really depends on your recorder and just, again, the sound that you want. Okay, so if we go ahead and go to also the input level, I have it at 15. I think 15 is really good. Usually this is a problem when I didn't have the ground loop isolator and it was picking up a lot of hissing noise. So the higher the external input level was, the higher the hissing noise was, and that was picked up by this recording, not this. So it's really annoying. But again, you can probably get away with not having a ground loop isolator if you have the external level really low. The only problem with it having the external level really low here is that, again, you're sending this audio out to the GoPro. So if you have very low audio, very low external levels here, your recording is going to be a little too quiet. And then when you start boosting it in post to try to hear what you're saying in a moto vlog, then you're going to pick up the hissing. Then you're going to pick up all the imperfections in the audio source. So this might take a little bit of playing around. Again, 15 is the sweet spot for me. So if we go to recording mode, again, the source, it's an external input line, okay? External. And we are going to record in mono. So it doesn't matter if you're using the left or right channel. All the audio is basically going to be evenly distributed to, I guess, both ears, essentially. I mean, that's basically what it's supposed to be doing. It's just one audio channel. It's equal. You're going to hear it perfectly fine on both left and the right ear. So yeah, just be very careful. Be very careful. Make sure that you do it right. Okay, so basically the recording here is done. The Tascam recorder is done. So if I hit the record button, now it's just going to blink red, and that's perfectly fine. That's perfectly fine. And you can also hit the record button as well, and you can actually start recording audio independently from the GoPro. So if you want a backup audio source, you absolutely have one. I have a 16 gigabyte SD card in here. That might be a little bit too small, especially for what we're doing here. But again, just for demonstration purposes, and we're not even going to utilize it anyways. So yeah, you would have this. This is going to be in your helmet. This is going to be in your helmet. Here, I'm going to tap it just to prove to you that it's working. No audio. Okay, so again, right now I am speaking to you in my normal voice using my Sennheiser microphone, but I also have the lavalier right next to my mic, so this thing gets pretty damn loud. It gets pretty damn hot, negative 20 dB. It's recording negative 24, 25, yada yada yada. So yeah, I mean, I think I did a pretty decent job getting the levels right. Okay, so we're done with this. Okay. We're done with this. Let's go ahead and turn on the GoPro camera. So essentially, you set this up. It only took like 2 seconds. It took longer for me to explain everything. So we're going to go ahead and turn on the GoPro. And it's connected to the media mod. This is the GoPro 10, ladies and gentlemen. So we are going to go ahead and go to preferences. We're going to go to mods. And we want the media mod audio to be line in. So right here, that's line out, audio going out. And then on the media mod, it's line in. So you want audio going in. It's basically picking it up like a microphone, almost, kind of. All right. So to prove that this is working, I'm going to pick up the lavalier. Look at the audio level right here. Look at the audio level right there. So when I'm like tapping it, it's working. But right now, I'm not really close to the lavalier microphone, so it's not picking up my voice. But as soon as I bring this to my mouth, I'm going to bring this to my mouth and start talking. Watch. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, testing, 1, 2. All right. Testing, 1, 2. Testing, Papa Bear Fire Team Charlie. All right. So I'm going to go ahead and put this in my helmet, and I'm going to record this with the visor on and everything, and I'm going to demonstrate to you what that audio can sound like, how good and crystal clear it's going to sound like. It's not going to be loud. It's not going to be muffled, yada, yada, yada. So let's go ahead and go. All right, you guys. So this is what the audio sounds like. This is what it sounds like, and I have the recorder right here just to prove that it's working. Yeah. See the audio's bouncing up and down. I mean, it literally sounds like I'm wearing a helmet. Yeah, so this is what you should expect. So I have it at negative 48 decibels because the lavalier is going to be really close to me, close to my mouth. So it's kind of loud in here. It's kind of loud in this helmet here. Just to prove it, here, check this out. Yeah, so now the audio sounds significantly different. And again, I'm not recording with the GoPro onboard media mod sources or anything like that. I'm literally using the lavalier microphone again. I'm showing that to you. All right, so yeah, honestly, I would strategically place the lavalier somewhere a little bit different instead of right here. You know, again, this is just demonstration purposes only. This is just demonstration purposes only, and I also wouldn't have it hanging out from right here. I would have it hanging out, going underneath. So yeah, so what you want to do when you're motovlogging, get a chin guard. Right now it's the summer, and it's a little too damn hot for that shit, but you know, that's an option. Get a chin guard that reduces wind, you know, blowing up into the what's it called, the helmet. Obviously have a full shielded what's it called, a helmet. Just, you know, not modular. It's not like half open or anything, or you know, this is how you want it. This is how you want it. And again, you know, the chin guard is not super necessary. But again, if you really want to reduce the wind noise, you know, the Dead Cat does a good job. The chin guard does an excellent job as well. And of course, dialing in those audio settings are so important. They are so insanely important, you guys. But yeah, my audio, my voice should sound crystal clear to you. It should sound really, really good. You know, we have a low cut filter on, 120 hertz. It's, you know, reducing a lot of the ambient noise, or not a lot, but some of it. It's helping a little bit. And then of course the input level as well on this guy on the recorder is you know, it's doing its job. The ground loop isolator is also doing its job in ensuring that hold on, I gotta turn this off. Are we here? Yeah, it's ensuring that you're not getting that hissing noise after the fact, after the recording, or during the recording, because it's really where it's coming from. But I do have that level. Again, if you can't afford a ground loop isolator, or you know, whatever the case may be, you don't want to get one, then you can just reduce the audio level, and then you got to do some tricky stuff in post-production. If you're lucky, it doesn't show up. If you're unlucky, I mean, there are ways to remove, you know, that kind of noise. It just takes a little bit of finesse with Adobe Premiere, with DaVinci Resolve, and even, you know, Camtasia has a tool to remove it. Noise, but it works a little bit better with standard microphones, not so much,
you know, applications like this, because again, lavaliers weren't designed to be used in helmets like this. They're just way too damn hot. They pick up too much sound, and you're way too close to the capsule. But with dialing in those levels the way that I did, this is going to work really well. And future videos, I'm going to demonstrate to you, you know, that I'm not full of crap. Again, do this yourself, you guys. You can do this with the Zoom recorders. You can do this with the Zoom recorders. You can do this with the Tascam. I personally like the Tascam recorders a little bit better. That's just personal preferences. The Zoom recorders are exceptional. So if you're asking me for advice on how to dial in your settings on your recorder, I mean, dude, you guys got to figure it out. All I did was, you know, adjust the levels. Line out goes to the GoPro. Yeah, the line, or yeah, the line out goes to the line in on the GoPro. The GoPro audio is from the media mod is going to be the line in, because again, audio is going into the GoPro, yada yada yada. So you guys should get it. I'm trying to explain it to you in a way that everybody could understand. And of course, you can also independently record. So if you want to align the audio with the video, you can absolutely do that in post if you so desire. I mean, in my opinion, that's a lot of work. It's a lot easier to dial in the settings, and the settings are not going to change on this recorder. It's always going to be the same. So I just plug everything in, turn this guy on. You know, if I really want to, I can hit the record button. If not, then oh well. I can just leave it like this, and you guys will be able to hear me clearly. So that's it. So if you have any questions, you guys, it's getting really hot in here. Oh my goodness, it's getting really hot. So if you guys have any questions, you know, please feel free to ask. I'll do my best to answer every single one of them. Again, I don't use every single recorder on the planet. I don't know all the settings and the workarounds for everything, but I'll do my best to help people out. And yeah, a lot of content creators who motovlog, they'll never tell you this stuff. They'll never help people out. You know, their instructions are shit. They don't understand audio. They don't know what they're talking about, or they're just being lazy, or maybe they're being nefarious. They don't want to compete with other, you know, talented up-and-coming content creators. But yeah, if you want crystal clear audio, this is it. By the way, I don't necessarily, I think I said this earlier, I don't necessarily recommend the lavalier being here. I'm probably going to put it out to the side somewhere, or I don't know. It's got to be somewhere different. Again, I just wanted to prove to you that I was using this and that it is on. Tap, 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 tap. So yeah. All right, guys, let me know what you think. Let me know if you got questions. Peace.